I'm Sharon, and I am from Vote 18 Ventures. We are based in Kuala Lumpur. What we do is we actually are more like an advisory that connects the startups that are scaling up to institutional investors.
First of all, thank you to Valentine and Dimitri for having me as part of this panel, and also thank you to Elena for coordinating this event, and Nadia for moderating. So I'm Sierra Choi, Director of Marketing and Senior Analyst at the White Lake Advisory Group based in the UK. I'm currently coming live to you from South Korea. So we primarily work with startups to gain traction, and as an advisory, help them secure capital.
I'm the general partner of Global Blockchain Ventures. We are a blockchain-focused venture fund and investing in blockchain-enabled application in healthcare, IoT, AI, and other. In healthcare, we have written a book, which we announced last year, Blockchain in Healthcare. I'm also a founder and managing partner of Merging Minds International, which is a global market accelerator for European companies who want to enter the US market.
Andy Lian from Singapore. I usually base myself overseas in Japan and South Korea, but right now, I'm based in Singapore because of the COVID. So on a more personal basis, I'm actually an intergovernmental advisor. So we give advice to government on a personal basis and also on a more intergovernmental level. So I give advice to 22 countries, and we look at how we implement blockchain. And on the side, I'm a private investor that has been placing a lot of different funds and companies together for the past 10 years. And for the last 3 to 4 years, we have been very active in the blockchain circle, MedTech, supply chain, IoT, and so forth. I am also the chairperson for Descent Foundation, a company that is set up in 2015 that provides a lot of different blockchain solution in the European market. And happy to meet all of you.
Hi, this is Max. Massimiliano is too long, understand? So Max is perfect. I'm the founder and managing director of HSMI. We are private equity, M&A, and venture capital boutique. So we are pretty much agnostic, and we work on behalf of many startups worldwide. I'm an angel. Again, investing broadly in all sectors from hardware to software.
Thank you. I'm Joanne Hackett. I'm here representing IZY Capital. I'm the general partner for healthcare. We're an advisory and private equity firm. And we really believe in the founders. So we spend a lot of time becoming partners with the people that we support, helping them raise capital, as well as doing a bunch of advisory work. And so we specialize in partnering with individuals who really want to take their dreams and make them a reality.
My name is Ashish Mittal, and I'm the founder CEO for TurningIdeas Ventures. We are an early stage fund and a venture studio. So broadly, what we help is partner with founders and co-build with them. So massive talent in India. So the objective is we get onto with the founders, do the ideation, validation, and help them create the first set of MVPs or prototypes which can be funded.
Hi everyone, my name is Neha. I work for Joyance Partners. I'm an investment partner at Joyance Partners. We invest in the US, Europe, and Asia. Our sole focus is the science and technology of health and happiness.
At GBW, and also together with our partners, we are focusing on global collaboration. So we are partnering with a lot of global ecosystems in the healthcare space. We have to get the highest return for our investors and the most value for our startups. We connect and collaborate startups with corporates because we are all serial entrepreneurs and corporate executives. So we have the possibility to get to high-level people at corporates, which could be an exit in the future, but also could get innovation from our startups to get pilot installation. So our latest investment in GBV is Consensus Health. Consensus is a spin-off of Consensus, which is the largest digital health ecosystem for the Ethereum platform. So we think we get a lot of applications at the moment during and after the corona from total new world. So telehealth will be a big where we will invest in looking at the best potential customer client startups. We think that virtual care will be big, supported with AI and other technologies. And this is where we are looking at the moment.
I think maybe talking about healthcare, medtech, medical devices, life science, biotechnology, we are living probably the most fascinating time ever. We are speeding technology so much. And there are sectors which I'm looking very closely, which is, for example, telemedicine. Yeah, I do believe we can't waste this time. We as an investor, also as an advisor, we should give this guy the right advice and invest in the right people that can deliver. I'm very positive in terms of where we are going. But of course, we've done nothing, and we need to do a lot with helping this guy and invest in the right guy, because that's the point. We need to invest where are the right funders and not only the right idea.
Hi, I'm Telly. I'm actually based in St. Kitts and Nevis, so I guess I'm the only one here from the Caribbean. So I represent two firms, Beyond Capital Markets, which is a digital market finance alternative investment company focused on digital assets and specifically financial market infrastructure. And then I'm also the managing director for Pro House Labs based in Miami. It's fintech and wellness incubator.
I think these are the most interesting times. We've been very focused on healthcare, medtech, biotech investments. Right now, we kind of engaging in 2 or 3 broad areas considering the pandemic situation, which include things like remote healthcare, telemedicine, contactless diagnostics.
I think we will see investment centered around food technology, gaming, fitness, and telemedicine startups. In medtech specifically, I think robotic applications to explore the future of medicine will be of great interest, especially those related to diagnosis, telemedicine, and rehabilitation.
Where we see some quite interesting things, as Sienna pointed out, there are lots of investments currently happening in fitness, in food, and in gaming. But from a healthcare perspective, if you think of that, all of those things do have application across healthcare as a whole. And I think the biggest thing that this pandemic is actually highlighting is the fact that we all as citizens want and demand very high quality healthcare. And one of the underpinning facets of that, which was mentioned by many of the panelists, is the fact that data is at the heart of all of this, all of the different choices that we make and all of the choices that our healthcare practitioners make for us. And so being able to bridge that gap between things that are collected on our Fitbits, data that's collected at GP surgeries, or data that's collected at a cancer clinic, how can all of that come together to actually provide a more seam-free solution? So we're seeing investments in things that aren't just going to be around for the next 6 to 12 months, but they're actually going to be here for the long haul. And again, this comes into the things that are usually actually not that sexy, unfortunately. So I always refer to it as the plumbing. So how do you actually build data lakes? How do you build various ways to federate data? How do you do that kind of stuff? And it sounds very boring on the outside because you don't see a widget or a gadget or something quite fun. But actually, those are the things that are really going to catalyze and change the way that healthcare needs to be delivered going forward. So we're trying to support as many companies as possible that are trying to look under the hood and try to see how they can actually change some of the plumbing, if you will, to be able to make some innovations actually last for the long term. Very well aware of the fact that we are in a pandemic and we do need to be addressing some of those issues today. But for the companies that are starting today, unless they had a proof of concept, it's actually quite challenging for them to get up and running straight away. So we're spending a lot of time on helping those companies that have a larger perspective with respect to looking down the line a little bit longer and helping them to actually get their products and services ready.
We've made 5 deals in the COVID era, not necessarily COVID focused, but we've seen really strong startups rise to the occasion, and perhaps the weaker business model startups or the weaker founders have sort of taken a break, taken a stopgap, And so actually the quality of startups in terms of investments for us has been incredibly high. And that's ranging from the US, Europe, and Asia, not just in one particular continent.
But there's just two key points that I wanted to point out. Is the community and the market. So these are the two areas that I think you guys should really focus on, because this is the area that you understand best, right? If you're talking about Bangladesh or you're talking about the Black community, these are the areas that you guys have initiated and want to focus on. And I think this is where you should really drill down to what you can do for them. And the rest could be your competition. The rest could be, giant companies and things like that. But first and foremost, I think your focus should be on your community and the market space that you're working on.